Hello everyone. As you have seen from the title, this video is a little different than normal. Today, I'm going to be talking about the EDP445 documentary a little bit. Hello guys, editing Ria here. I just wanted to come in here for a second and say, this is just a rant video. You don't have to watch this if you don't want to. And in this video, I will be talking about very disturbing topics. I will be using harsh language, and I will not be censoring much, if anything, of what I say. If you are under the age of 18, you should not watch this. Thank you for watching and clicking on the video, and I will let my other pre-editing self keep talking. So, where to even start? He is possibly one of the most disgusting YouTube predators I've ever seen. We all know this. We all know who EDP445 is. Though, if you don't, he was a incel YouTuber. I say is, but the only thing that's changed is he is no longer a YouTuber because, well, he got caught trying to sleep with 13-year-old girls. I'm not going to censor myself for this video. I think censoring yourself is ridiculous. I think it undermines what actually happened. But that's beside the point. He tried sleeping with 13-year-old girls, or tried sleeping with a 13-year-old girl. There is more victims, I'm sure. Let's be honest with ourselves. This man was popular for a fairly long time and still is on the internet and free to this day because the sting operation he was caught in was done terribly, to be quite frank. And the person behind it didn't care about anything other than money and clicks. That's why this man is still on the streets to this day. But besides that, back to the documentary. First off, the documentary is very well produced. I'm not going to show any clips or anything here because I'm not sure the exact legality behind that, like how much of a clip I could use, stuff like that, But I highly recommend you go watch it yourself. It is the EDP445 documentary. And it is the documentary is you can find it on Mike Klum's channel. It's actually about 2 weeks old, which I did not know. I thought this was recent. The actual video is called The Sick Mind of EDP445 Official Documentary. Okay, well, what I just seen that was 2 weeks old was the trailer, but that's besides the point. So, what did I think? Well, to start with, I'm disgusted. I do not understand how someone hasn't done something to EDP. I do not wish harm upon anyone or want anything bad to happen. However, I know we all can agree predators deserve everything that is coming to them. Everything. And thankfully, from what I believe, I think EDP has liver failure or something. Let's be for real. His fat fucking ass deserves it, bro. Bro, oh my god. I could just make a video hating on this fat fucker. But to the documentary once again. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. This is unscripted if you couldn't tell. So, the documentary, as I said, very well produced. I will say some of the scenes from it are so goofy. They hired this one actor. He's a bigger individual like EDP to play as EDP for some of the scenes. And they make this dude do some crazy things. I hope they paid him a crazy bag, because if they did not, I feel so bad for that dude. But they actually interviewed a lot of YouTubers and like other people related to this for this documentary, like Moist Critical, Tuv, uh, Mike, not Mike Klum, Alex Rosen, the dude who fucked up the sting operation, um, and of course they interviewed EDP himself, right? Uh, and the documentary itself is, like I said, very well produced. Some of the scenes are really goofy. The thing, though, that I find so crazy about this documentary is EDP. He just admits, you would expect, right? If you're talking to a criminal and they're not arrested or haven't been arrested for what they did, they'd be like, oh, well, I'm innocent. I wasn't arrested. I didn't do that. No, EDP just admits it. He's like, yeah, I tried raping a 13-year-old. That's exactly what he says. And he just admits it. If I remember correctly, he admitted like 16 different crimes in this documentary. How is this not arrestable? Now, hopefully with this documentary coming out and him literally admitting it, it would spark some form of investigation. However, I'm no legal expert, but I do believe there is a statute of limitation, or statute, I think it's statute of limitation, um, or statute of limitation, something like that. I think there is a statute, so I don't know if it is anything is even enforceable anymore, even if there is proof. Which realistically, the law enforcement had proof before that he was a predator. Except our government and government officials and our law enforcement agencies love protecting pedophiles and predators. Um, so, of course they protect them. But that's a tangent for another time. Documentary. He EDP, as I said, admits to multiple crimes, and there's parts where he's like, "Yeah, I did it." Blah 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 blah. I did it. Yeah. And there's this super cringe fucking part where he's like, it's at the start. He's like, "Yeah, I think villains are so cool. The bad guy is so cool, man." Like, EDP genuinely strikes me as, well, we all know he's a fucking incel. He's the type of guy to go out here and call women like foids or some shit. Like, he's an actual incel. And I mean, obviously that's not the worst thing he is. He's a fucking pedophile. But he is like worst of the worst. He really likes saying faggot and the F slur. I can say that, by the way, but besides the point. Um he loves the F slur all the time. He just uses it 24/7, bro. 24. Never leaves his fucking mouth. Uh it's honestly annoying, cuz he'll sit here and he'll be like, "Oh, this person's F slur, they're a sissy," or whatever the fuck else he says. And then he, I don't know, brags about how he's a bad guy and tried to touch a child. He's like, he sits here and he's like, he's bragging. That's what it is. He's bragging that he got away with it. And it's disgusting. It is actually vile that we allow, as a society, people like this, just with evidence, so much fucking evidence, to just get away scot-free. Now, I really hope this documentary sparks some kind of investigation, but quite frankly, I'm not hopeful, and you should not get your hopes up for it. It's just, predators get protected, man. That's all I can say. Even if they get arrested, they get weekend jail, and they get sent to prison for a week, and they might get their registry. But even if they get put on the registry, they can just move to Alaska or Idaho and be completely protected, because some states just love pedophiles, right? Um, and it's sad. It's sad that that's the society we live in. It's it's so disgusting. Um, and I'm not going to get into political topics or anything like that. I'm just here to talk about the documentary. And he's sitting here, he's bragging. He's like, "Yeah, I'm the bad guy. acting all edgy and shit, like that makes him cool. He's acting like a fucking r/I'm 13 and this is deep, or r/I'm 14, this is deep, whatever the fuck. He's talking like one of the kids off that, bro. He's like, yeah, the villain is so cool. Without the villain, there wouldn't be no story. I'm like, dude, like you're actually like, you're mentally deficient. Like you're actually just disgusting. Like, can someone do something about this man? Like, God, if I wasn't on YouTube, I would be saying very different things right now, to be blatantly honest. Um, just so you know. And back to the documentary for like the 30th time now, since I keep getting sidetracked. Um, there's this part, and he's talking to Chris Hansen, and Chris Hansen is like sitting here, he's reading some of the chats, and he's like, sounds to, I can't do a Chris Hansen impression. I wish I could. He's like, yeah, it sounds like here that you were gonna meet up and molest this 13-year-old girl. And EDP says, well, if that's what it sounds like, I mean, that's what it is. Like, seriously? Like, it genuinely baffles me. I am just stunned. I'm stunned. I understand why the documentary was made. The documentary was made to spread more awareness. Because low-key, where it's been so long since this has happened, it's starting to fade from people's memory and becoming a joke. And EDP, if you give him a chance to come back to the internet, he will come back. He will victimize more minors and more children. He will. As long as this man is free, he will victimize children for the rest of his fucking life. You cannot redeem this piece of shit. And if we ever let the public forget this man, he will come back. He's tried on every fucking social media known to man. He even got pretty popular on TikTok, like years after he got quote unquote canceled, which, let's be real, canceling is not real. You can't get canceled as a popular creator. The only reason EDP got canceled is because like he just didn't just keep uploading. He just kind of fucked off, and like what while his name is Eat That Pussy, the only pussy around him ever is himself. He's a fucking coward. In the documentary, he's like, the only regret I have with meeting up with Alex Rosen was not getting my Glock and shooting him. Like, bro. Dude, I doubt this motherfucker can even pull the trigger back on a Glock, bro. His arms look like they're like 13 watermelons attached to each other. Like, literally, I doubt he can even pull back the fucking trigger. Like, I'll be so dead ass. I am so fucking confident this man is so unphysically fit to do anything. I'm not the type of person to put my life at risk, but I guarantee you, if I could, like, old Western duel this man, like, and fucking hip draw fire, I would beat him. I've never touched a gun in my fucking life. He's just that unphysically fit, bro. He literally, like, my 700-pound motherfucker, bro. And another part of the documentary I found very interesting was he's talking about how he got his name. And he's talking about how he was like watching porn or whatever and like jerking off before he went and made his YouTube account. And he's like, yeah, I was trying to come up with some numbers after my username and I couldn't think of any, so I went and stepped on the scale and it was 445 pounds. Bro, you're admitting this? Like, I guess he has no shame, right? He's a pedophile and he admits it proudly. But like, dude, of course the 445 fucking, or 445 fucking pound, like, incel loser's a pedophile. Who could have fucking guessed, right? The standard, like, 30% of all pedophiles are the exact same as him, bro. Who could have guessed he was going to be one, right? Um, and he's just like, yeah, that's how I named my YouTube channel. Like, dude, I, no fucking shame, no remorse. I genuinely believe this man is a psychopath or like something, right? I think you have to be a sick, twisted person to do what he did. But there's people who do that who are not psychopaths. But I think he genuinely has he's some kind of psychopath or he gets off on it, something, because he is genuinely deplorable. Obviously, everyone who did anything remotely close to what he did is deplorable and should have very bad things happen to them. But he is truly like another level, I think. And I would not be surprised if to this day he is still talking to minors. As a matter of fact, I would bet you money he is. I guarantee you he is somehow still talking to minors because the police don't fucking care. The police aren't tapping his phones or doing anything about it. The police might as well like be held liable for letting this man do this shit. Like I understand the original investigation was botched, but could they not open an actual investigation against him? Like they would have to have that ability. I don't understand how you couldn't have that ability to do that. And they know I guarantee you there's been thousands and thousands of reports about him at this point. But nothing's ever happened to him. And now he's just admitting the crimes he did. And I hope, like I've said multiple times, I hope the police do something now. They won't, but I hope so. And I do genuinely believe the police chief or whoever is in charge of the precinct that this stuff happened in and the precinct he could have been charged in, they should be charged too. I'll be blatantly honest. They should be charged with some kind of fucking conspiracy or something because there's no way in hell they did not know what this man was doing and there has been no efforts, none at all, to put this man behind bars because if there was any fucking effort, he would not be on the streets still, being blatantly honest. Like there has to be some kind of something happening behind the scenes. And if it was an investigation, they would have him already. Let's be honest. It's been hell, I think it's been years and years, right? They could have put this man behind bars already. But he's still roaming the fucking streets, endangering children everywhere he fucking goes. And it, in the documentary, he kind of like normalizes it. He's like, yeah, I'm sure every man thinks of insert him talking about doing bad, terrible, disgusting things to little girls. Um, I'm not saying that because I'm not saying what he said. I can't. And he normalized. He's like, yeah, I bet all guys do this or want to do that. And I'm sitting here. I'm like, dude, what kind of mindset do you have to be in to actually believe that? Because I think he actually believes it. Like, you have to be some like the worst person ever. Not ever, but one of the worst people or like type of people. Like, God, dude, it's crazy. I'm gonna wrap it up though. I just wanted to yap for a bit. Thank you for watching. Oh, also, you should go watch the documentary and check it out. All the proceeds from the documentary are going to sexual assault victims. So go watch it, support it. Um, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little rant. Um, and an actual video will be coming soon. See you around.